Hi there, we're here with Greth, a member of the Arizona Drag Racing Hall of Fame and one of our newest Arizona drag racing legends. We're here to talk about Red and the Speed Sport Special in Tucson, Arizona, and the racers he's known and the things he's done, and help celebrate his awesome life as a legend. So, Mr. Legend, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm not a legend, and I'm so fortunate to be able to be around these guys that got me going good. I mean, they showed me the right direction.
So, who got you started?
Bill Cheeseburg and Roger McCluskey. I was cleaning parts for them.
Wow.
I'd go to the races. We traveled all over Texas, New Mexico, and they kept banging up the cars, and I said, I don't know, this is stupid. So I went into drag racing.
So you didn't want to have to rebuild the car every
Hell
race?
no, I didn't need that.
So Bill Cheeseburg,
Yeah.
awesome dirt track racer who both of them ran Indy.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember one time seeing Cheeseburg's gloves in the Indianapolis Museum, and I go, wow, I remember watching him at Manzanita,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
and a racer's racer, but he was...
I saw him flip a jalopy out at the old rodeo racetrack here, and his arm came out like it was going to roll over. It came right back in because it was going to roll.
We didn't have restraints then.
It's so funny, but it was
So,
very serious, very smart.
So how long you been in Tucson?
Oh, forever, 60-some years. Oh, yeah. Oh,
So-
God, yeah.
So pretty much a native now, an honorary native.
70 years, yeah.
Where are you from?
I was born on a farm in Ohio,
Wow.
and we pulled onions. We did everything. My
What part of
sister-
Ohio?
It was outside of Dayton.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a little farm there. And my dad was a workaholic, and he busted his ass. He had trucks and tractors and stuff, and he got arthritis real bad, and the doctor says, you better move west. We came out here, didn't know anybody, no one. And just, he was smart enough to take a look at and when it rained, to look at the ground to see which way the water ran and stuff. And so we bought some dirt out on the east end of town and built a house.
How old were you when you moved out?
Oh, 13, 14, something.
So you're just before in the time you're getting interested in cars. Were you probably growing up on a farm? You had mechanical interest, anyways.
I had to drive tractors and stuff. They filled the tractor full of gas, and I'd be out there disking a field. And when it ran out of fuel, I'd get off the thing and walk to the house. That's how long I would drive it for the day.
Until it runs out of fuel.
Yeah,
Don't come back any sooner.
Yeah.
So you and your family relocated to Tucson.
Correct.
Seen a lot change in Tucson over the years.
It's been something else because he bought that dirt out at Bear Canyon and Tanque Verde. Now there's an Ace Hardware store in that dirt. And we built a house there in 1950. And it was so far, there wasn't anybody out there. It was so far out in the sticks. It was unreal. I'd film a ride to go to school.
It was out there.
Yeah.
Wow. So how your early racing was circle track racing, but you decided, I want something where I don't have to rebuild
Correct.
my
You're
car.
right.
So how did you get into drag racing?
I think I borrowed a dragster chassis. I think it's one that's got clipboard down there, that storyboard. It's got just some frame rails, and I pump. And Don Maynard and I, which Don was one of the best engine builders ever, we built an engine stuck in the thing, and I had that, and I had a 32 5-window coupe I raced. We would take it to Phoenix. It wouldn't. I bought a magneto for it, and we take it up there, and we have to push start it to make it start because it wouldn't spin fast enough to start. And I was fortunate enough, and they can't defend themselves. I beat Jimmy Bryant, and he had a Cadillac-powered Ford, 51 Ford, bright red coupe, and a guy named Baker, another circle tracker, he had a flathead, all hopped up, and I ran my 32 against him. I beat both of them. I was so proud of that.
Was this what facilities did you?
Perryville.
Perryville. So the Perryville, a big part of Arizona history.
Yes, it was.
The first official
It
entering national event was finished at Perryville.
Yes.
A lot of stuff's gone on in Arizona that we should all be proud of.
It was a fun place because everybody borrowed parts. I mean, you enjoyed yourselves a whole bunch. We took a car up there. I can't recall whose car it was, but we put a Chrysler in to drive it up there, and we got up there and we blew our engine in the Roadster, and so I said, "Oh, there's one in that car. Let's take it out." We took it out and ran the race out of this guy's car.
That's what you did.
Oh yeah, that's all we could do. Yeah. Now they've got it semi-loaded with about 7 bullets in the thing.
Right.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's changed a little bit.
Yeah, and I raced around here like there's places you've never even heard of. like got a Bing K. Wong's storage facility out on the far west side of town. Now it's all full of houses, but his place, we'd rent that thing on a weekend. And Charlie Hall, a painter, body man, all that stuff in Tucson, built a set of timers for us with hoses going across the strip, so you ran across them to get your time.
Kind of like a gas station dinger
Yeah,
hose?
gas station hoses.
Wow. So was that your the real first drag strip in Tucson, you remember? Or what was, I mean, Tucson, did they race at Murano over the years?
We raced out at the Mount Lemon Cutoff, and that was about the only organizer, because we had like the Lord's Club. We went in, we would run a race out there and stuff.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun, yeah.
Did you any support from Davis-Monthan at all ever?
Oh yeah, and let me say another thing. I want to pat Barry Goldwater on the back, because we were racing out at DM, and some kid called his mom or something, or wrote her and said, I got to guard this airplane because these guys are out here racing. So she got a hold of her congressman. Barry Goldwater stepped in and says, they're going to keep racing out there too.
So
God bless him.
So when we talk about, so our viewers know, when we talk about Davis-Monthan DM, it's Davis-Monthan Air Force Base.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
Right there where
the biggest aircraft storage yard in the world, right here.
And it's right where we used to drag race, right where the Border Patrol offices are right now.
Wow.
I've got a chunk of the pavement that was there.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't it neat? Yeah.
So,
I didn't get it. My son's got it for me.
So you progress forward with cars, and of course the Speed Sport Special, not only is it iconic for Tucson or Arizona, it's iconic worldwide.
Yes.
And you'd be very proud of that.
I raced in Mexico, Canada. I'd fly to different places, and I didn't have 2 nickels, but God bless my wife. She took care of things and took care of the boys and stuff, and I flew all over, and I'd race and fly back and go to work Monday morning.
What was the inspiration to build the Speed Sport? And who was involved with it with you?
We borrowed one from Red Hensley from Phoenix. He had one that the Bean Bandits built. We borrowed the thing, stuck on our motors and the thing. We said, hey, this is fun. And so we went ahead and built one. Better. We were the first and only successful winningest rear motor car.
Rear motor, long before rear motor was even, before Garlis, before, Jim Dunn had done it, the winemaker, you were doing it.
But we were successful with it.
So, is it, in the day, was it considered a dragster or a roadster? Or?
Roadster. What we would do, I may be talking out of place here, but we decided, we've got a roadster here, so let those guys with the dragsters blow each other up, and we run for top eliminator against them.
You weren't making as many laps.
Hell no. And we collected the money. We had enough gas money to get back to Tucson.
Right. Wow. So you built the Speed Sport Special, and when did Tucson Dragway come about in reference to the Speed Sport Special, the old Tucson Dragway?
The one that was at DM, I was a member of the Tucson Timers Association, and I think I had the Roadster then. 1955 is when I started building that Roadster, yeah. But it was, way back then, we had a lot of guys working for nothing. We had top-notch people, like I said, Barry Goldwater, Buck O'Reilly that owns O'Reilly, I don't know if he's alive anymore, but Bob Moore. I mean, all these guys with the Junior Chamber of Commerce came in there and helped us, supported us. And we didn't have fences or anything. And they finally made us put up snow fence going down the drag strip. I mean, next to it. I mean, it was so loose, it was like, well, we had to take it down right away, too.
So, with this Speed Sport Special, when did you start touring the car? I know that you were involved eventually, I believe you were involved a lot with AHRA, and you ran some miniature stuff with it. And
we had a sponsor, and he had a speed shop here in Tucson. It was Speed Sport and Custom. And I said, I don't like custom on the end of it, so we're just going to call it Speed Sport. Anyway, he had, his roots were in Illinois, and he hooked it up with some of the promoters in Illinois to pay us to go back, and we were the first touring race car to go back. We got to go from Tucson back to Chicago or something like that. I think we got $200 or something and race it. Buy the fuel, everything.
It went a long ways.
Oh, we had a lot of fun.
So you're racing, you're from Tucson, people probably a lot have said, Where's Tucson?
Yeah, and you know, you're a cactus kicker.
Yeah.
They don't know you from zip, and they could care less. So we'd say, well, I guess I didn't bring my bib overalls, but we got there, blowed the doors off of them, and that was it.
So you went back, you're in the Chicago area, so you met some of the Carmesinis and
Oh
probably
yeah,
some
I
of the people.
stayed at Chris's house. I mean, it was, everybody was close. He was Chris, a nice person, and his wife was good too. I mean, they were good family.
So you've raced all over the country with it. You've
Yeah.
you've had some great success with it. It had is this the car that had, what was the nickname of this car?
Oh, noisy, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much so, yeah.
And the reason, explain the reason
It
why it was
had,
called that.
we didn't know what to do with the headers coming out the thing, so we just ran them out the back, and that's why it made so much noise. And then I'm sitting up on a wheel in Bakersfield about 5 years ago, and Ed Escuderi comes up, and he and I used to talk all the time. He said, Red, you know you were way ahead of your time. I said, how's that, Ed? He says, it works out much better having a longer exhaust on those things. I said, okay.
And this before we had dynos and all the
Oh,
rest
yeah.
of it.
You didn't know anything about
Well,
that.
what is Ed now? He's almost 100 years old and he's still kicking, still driving himself to the races.
Well, no.
Well, his daughter's with him, but we
No,
we give him credit about that.
We had open trailers and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and we still do. You know, I got one enclosed trailer, but the rest of them are open.
So you raced all over where did you like to race where was your favorite, what was your home track eventually became Tucson Dragway, or is it
Somewhat, yeah. You know, people would say, well, that's your home track. That's okay with it. Whatever they want to say.
still? Right.
I don't know. I liked them all. I really did. And the worst place was racing in Tijuana.
Okay.
Joaquin Arnett called me and says, Brad, bring your roadster over. We want to run this exhibition thing in Tijuana. And I said, okay. So we showed up, and it was right along the beach. And all that was there was sand. Oh, God, what a mess. But anyway, we had fun. We drank a lot of tequila and beer and stuff, so that's when you could, you know, there was a lot of
Well, things have changed, but those are still great memories, aren't
yeah,
they?
it's like walking those guys are great. I mean, really, 100%. We'd stay at their houses and everything. They'd stay at my house here, you know.
So the Speed Sport Special, did it have subsequent versions of it, or did you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I have had 29 or 31 cars that I raced. Dragsters, roadsters, my 5-window coupe. I considered all that, anything that run down the racetrack, I figured is one of my race cars. And that's a lot of race cars.
Kind of like Garlett's.
Yeah, oh yeah. He tells you, yeah.
Wow.
And Garlett's is a hell of a racer, believe me. He's put drag racing on the map.
Did you beat him? Ever get a chance to race him?
Oh yeah, but we never talk about things like that.
No, but back then it was like, he wasn't so much what we know him as. He was that guy from Florida.
Oh yeah.
And you wanted to beat the guy because he was yeah.
Tried hard.
Yeah.
We developed fuel lines for him at Cordova, Illinois. He had some itty bitty little copper tubing feeding his carburetors and stuff. So we said, go down to Sears and get some garden hose. We're going to fix this up for you. And so Maynard made short hoses and all this stuff, and we plumbed his car for him. Made it go about 10 miles an hour faster.
Wow.
He was a character.
Yeah.
Very much so, yeah.
So you've met a lot of the greats and you've raced with them.
Oh yeah.
So what I know that in this day and age, I've often kidded with my friends and said I wish I had a nickel for every mile that the Speed Sport Special has at different reunion races going just being towed around the track, because it's shown you get out and you show it, and a lot of people still get to share that car.
Fortunately, it's together, both cars. I have two of them. One's a supercharged one. It's not out here, but we use them a lot for charity. Like Labor Day weekend, Bisbee used to have an auto show, and I take one or the other car, both cars down there just for the Boys and Girls Club, because I believe people always help me out. It's my turn. You bet.
That's great. That's a great way to do it. It's a
Yeah,
very altruistic, pay it forward type of.
People have always been good to me. It's time for me to be good to them.
So, talking to your peers and your friends, there's a lot of people that, Maynard, other people you're around, but there are people that came along. This is you hung around as a younger guy with those other racers.
Oh yeah.
Who do you remember coming up and being a younger person that there's got to be one or two people went off racing?
Bobby Vodnik and I can go on and on, but a lot of different guys that we give them a ride or something. We saw that there was potential there. We didn't let somebody just get the car and go. They had to be good. and we'd pick Bobby. He did a hell of a good job for us. But we enjoyed it a lot. And then Danny Owens, which you're going to interview, lived right next door to me. And the neat thing was, he had a 55 Chevy. I don't think he was 12 years old, but he pulled the oleanders out of my fence line so I could put it in a swimming pool with his Chevy.
Tugged him out.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, why not? Mom and Dad aren't home.
So you influenced him, and I know he's gone on. He says passion for racing, and we'll interview him. But he's influenced a lot of other people. And that's part of what makes you all legends, is that you inspired, you mentored. People saw what you're doing. You didn't say go away. Here, here's what we do. Take a look at this. I'll show you. You shared your technology with other people, and that's got to make you feel really good. So you believe by making your competition better, it was better for you.
It was better for everyone. Yeah, we did. We just did it for everyone. Every little kid. I mean, my son today, tomorrow, or this afternoon, if the little kids are walking up with the parents, everybody has a camera with a phone on it. He put them in the car. Still does. Puts them in the cars so they can have their picture taken in this car sitting right here. You bet.
It makes their day.
Oh, heck yeah. Not very many people do that.
So other racers along the way in from the Tucson area, people that have come and gone, and I know from being in the performance aftermarket business, I got to be pretty good friends with Frank Townsend.
Oh, God, there's a principal guy. Yeah. Frank was great. And he was one of those guys that help you out.
Right.
I bought some aircraft brake drums from him, or disc brakes, and we adapted them and put them on one of the race cars. And they were so noisy you couldn't believe it. And they worked best when they got hot. And I was racing at Paradise Mesa in San Diego, and they weren't hot enough, and I ran off the end. So
you learned you got to get them hot before you went down.
Yeah.
The Frank Townsend, of course, I know, Donnie Toy is still at it.
Oh, yeah, Donnie's good.
But
person.
the
great family.
Great family.
Yeah.
Yeah, multi-generational.
Yes. Oh.
Love racing, and they're still hard at it. So I'm a Phoenix guy. Don't hold that against me, okay? But but
wait a minute,
we always like the rivalry.
Oh yeah, it was great.
It's like we're brothers. It's like people don't know Arizona State and ASU. They don't like each other, but in reality, if somebody else, we're still the fan of the school as long as because it's Arizona, right?
Sure.
But we always we went down the old Tucson Dragway, and as I was in awe with the people that the racers, watching Kevin Roddy and the rest of them race. And,
oh yeah, Kevin, good.
And just amazed in the relationships the racers had. But did you guys get up when you raced somebody from Phoenix more than other people?
It was just another race.
Okay.
I mean, it was one of those things. We all got along, and so it was fun.
Right. That's cool.
The whole thing. Yeah.
So during your years, at what tracks in Phoenix? Are you Perryville?
Gilbert. You ever hear her running Gilbert?
Shortly.
Chandler. I'm trying to think. There's got to be at least 6 or 7.
I mean, there's Deer Valley.
Beeline. Deer Valley.
Deer Valley.
Yeah, raced there.
What was the, through the years, the tracks besides Firebird, Wild Horse Pass, as they call it now, you saw great improvement in tracks as far as racing. This amenities, the track itself. What was your favorite track? If you're going to race where'd you like racing in Arizona?
I'm trying to think of the one that was the longest. I liked the way people treated us at Beeline. I really did, because I knew Rogers and so on. They were good people, and we'd be driving through. This before freeways and stuff. We'd be driving through Mesa, and there'd be some little Indian kid standing at the curb, and he was one of the tribe members from out at Beeline. We stopped and said, "Get in," and we learned his name was Keith, and we'd take him to the races with us every time we could be racing. He'd stand out there waiting on us. Didn't call him or anything. He'd just be there.
He was there.
Yeah. God bless him.
So your takeaway. I mean, there's so much more you have to say. Is there anybody who's not with us, or people that and we talked about some of the your mentored you and some of the racers that have gone on?
There's so many people like Lloyd Earl and John Patrick and Ray Fair. I mean, there's so many guys that were good competition that are gone.
Right.
I mean, let's face it, we all take a nap, and they are,
What is your biggest takeaway from racing? What do you remember the most?
I don't know, people. I enjoy people so much, I had a good job at the newspaper with marketing and advertising, and so they taught me, how to associate with people, and I enjoyed it. I really did. I traveled, got it. It was fun.
So that's what your real job was, working for the newspaper?
yeah.
I didn't ask you that.
Well, it was, and I worked there 44 years.
You can't keep a steady job, huh?
I guess not, no.
Wow.
And it was finally, when the big shots came in and bought Lee Enterprises and Gannett, I could see the handwriting on the wall, so I retired early. I didn't have any money, but by God, I retired.
On your own terms?
Well, no, you never have enough money.
Oh, okay, but you got out of there before they made you crazy.
Well, yeah.
So you were in marketing and advertising?
Yes, I enjoyed it a lot because I got to meet some of the heavy hitters with yellow front, checker auto, all these guys that big time operators.
Big spenders.
I mean, they were big time, and they said, "Come on in there, Red." I go to their offices and meet with them. Went up to Salt Lake City and met with the guns up there, Sam Skaggs. I mean, I had nothing to try to push them on or something. They want to know something, I tell them. I tell them about the market here and how great it was.
It sounds to me as for as much as you love your racing, you loved your job.
Yeah.
And so when you like something, it's more of your career. You enjoyed what you did through the years,
Oh yes, definitely.
and it supported your other habit of racing.
I didn't hunt or fish or anything like that, so I just raced.
Right.
It was the whole thing. Yeah.
So-
I enjoyed it so very much.
So in retirement, you're still hanging around the drag strip. You're still,
Until they catch me sneaking over the fence.
yeah. Well, show me I'll show you my spot, and I'll show you. You can show me yours, and that way, if yours gets closed, we can train.
Yeah.
We can sneak in. Okay.
There you go. You bet.
Well, listen. There's so much in your awesome life and your awesome story, but you are a legend, and you've meant a lot to a lot of people, and you still do.
Oh yeah.
You still put kids in the car. You let them sit. They dream.
Yeah.
Not every one of them is going to go on and be a racer, but at least every one of those will remember that they sat in the car. They'll remember that racing is not a bad thing. You've been a good ambassador of the sport.
Yes, I have been.
You've been a great Arizonan.
Yeah.
Definitely Arizona drag racing legend, and we certainly appreciate interviewing today. Thank you so much for your time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you guys
Okay.
so much.
Okay.